So let me continue now with my explanation that I wanted to give about psychology is an enterprise which is shame-inducing. Because, you know, when I came to Palo Alto University, I just want you to know, and this has really happened, and I am just another person who is, you could say I was idealistic. I wanted to go to Palo Alto University because they advertised with evidence-based treatment. Evidence-based treatment. Do you hear me correctly? I was almost gonna say motherfucker. Because there was an asshole teacher there. A guy by the name Dr. Russell. What a total fuckface that guy was. Dr. Russell. Yeah. What a moron. Anyways, he had a big mouth about evidence-based treatment, and so was Dr. Fromming, also a coward. Yeah. And Mr. Alvin, whatever his name was, who run the place there. Yeah. They all talk about evidence-based treatment. Well, I have news for you, motherfuckers. There is no evidence whatsoever that anything works in mental health. There's nothing that works. And you have all been shitting on me because I know about embodied language. You fucking cowards with your commission, yeah? Your commission which demanded that I go in therapy for my presumed problems. I don't have any problems. I know what embodied language is. I already knew it back then, but I know it even better now. And I know that your evidence-based treatment has resulted in nothing for any mental health client. You've only made people addicted to psychotropic drugs. That's what you have done. You have stigmatized them while you were saying that you are against stigmatizing them. You've stigmatized them into believing that they have a mental health issue. There's no such thing as mental idiots. No, the mental does not exist. There is no language inside of us. And I already knew it back then, but I wasn't fully assertive about it as I am now. I've completely left the field of psychology because the field of psychology is based on a tremendous lie. The lie of inner language. There is no mind, there is no inner language, there is no voice inside of you that you can supposedly listen to. No, you can only talk like that and fantasize about that. Yeah. And then you talk about people hearing voices? What are you talking about? People hearing voices in schizophrenia. A supposedly normal person believes to have an inner conversation with himself. That is the same as schizophrenia. Nobody wants to talk about this. I do. And nobody had the integrity to sit with me and to talk about this. Everybody is full of bullshit. And endlessly, because I wanted so badly to succeed. Oh, I was so ambitious. And so I was ready to jump through all the hoops and ready to avoid any confrontation as much as possible. Because that would not get me anywhere, right? But there were times where things had to be said. And this guy that I just mentioned, this Dr. Russell, who was my supervisor, this fucker, he's a total fraud. And so are all these other so-called psychologists and psychiatrists who are pushing medications on people. They're all frauds. They're crooks. They're criminals. They're ruining people their lives. If there's any truth to psychology, yeah, if there's any truth to any human being, it is because they use their language in a way that their language, it refers to their experience. And if your language does not refer to your experience, if your language doesn't capture your experience, then what does it refer to? It refers to something which you're not. And then you are feeling ashamed for who you are. Because just imagine that you would reject all that bullshit. Just imagine that you don't agree with it. That you are against what everybody else believes in. Yes. That is what embodied language is. And if you are going to have embodied language like I do, you are going to be in for some big surprises. Everything that everybody believes in is wrong. And it is not because I am just another, I don't know, trying to get followers on my YouTube channel or something. Trying to create another hype. No. I happen to know something that other people do not know. I happen to have a skill that other people don't have. And yes, as a person who is knowledgeable about psychology, as a person who has studied this for many years, who has taught it for many years, as a person who is informed about behavioral principles, yeah, how human behavior works in terms of behaviorism and behaviorology, I insist. I absolutely insist. And I don't care whether anybody wants to listen to me. I don't care whether anybody wants to follow me. I don't care whether anybody recognizes me. I still insist that what I say is true. And I still insist that if there is such a thing as truth to psychology, which there isn't at this point, psychology is just a total mess. Yeah? There's no replications that are done for these studies. Why are these studies not replicated? Because they don't want to replicate them. They can't replicate them. There's no accountability whatsoever. We are just throwing money down a bottomless pit. Especially here in California, where they're now trying to do something else. Yeah, Newsom is trying to save his ass. Governor Newsom, the cheap, slick motherfucker, yeah, he's trying to save his ass as if he's doing something for the homeless and for the mentally ill. He's doing shit. If people are going to do something for other people, they're going to have embodied language. And I don't give a shit whether you are a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a teacher or an academic or a scientist. Yeah, I've looked up at all these people because I wanted so badly to be one of them. But here I am. I am a free individual, and I'm telling you, I have no shame acknowledging that yes, I came into my experience of what I'm telling you today because I've left psychology behind. I've left teaching behind. I've left everything behind. I don't care about followers on my YouTube channel. I don't care whether you have a conversation with me or not. I have this conversation already without you. And if you dare to have it with me, well then, let me hear from you. But embodied language will make us fearless and shameless. Well, there's no need to be ashamed. Anyone who shames you, anyone who makes you feel ashamed, tell them to get lost. They're destructive. And the field of psychology has wronged me, yes. And the field of education has wronged me, yes. Yeah, the California Psychological Association, bullshit organization. Yeah, the American Psychological Association, bullshit organization. If people had any integrity, if people had any understanding, any honesty, any decency, any realism, they would acknowledge what I say. They would acknowledge that, yes, we need people who listen to themselves. You can only help other people who do not listen to themselves if you listen to yourself. And I have helped a lot of people. The people that have talked with me, yeah, whether they were students or mental health clients, they have all felt what it is like to be with a person like me who listens to himself and who tells other people how important it is to listen to yourself while you speak. If you do not do that, you live a life of shame. A life of shame, and to avoid your shame, you try to blame. That's what you do. And that's what everybody does. They're all trying to blame other people. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming people for shaming me. Don't get me wrong. I'm just simply telling you that you do not need to be ashamed. I'm simply telling you that disembodied language is on this deathbed. Yeah, I heard a whole conversation. Also such an asshole. Yeah, a guy by the name Michael Shermer who makes a big stink about, oh, we need to be more scientific. And then you have Steven Pinker, another prick. Yeah, another asshole, academic fucker. Yeah, arrogant, belligerent, smart ass. These people, they are all talking down at other people. And yet they talk about being objective. They're talking about being scientific, being rational. They're full of shit. I am not full of shit. That's why I can be this emphatic. I'm full of joy, full of life, and I don't have any shame. That's why I can continue in spite of all the rejection, in spite of all the... Hello. Hi.
They weren't even allowing them to play.
In spite of all the lack of acknowledgement, the lack of respect, I am basically without any negativity. Yeah, I mean, I have to say what I say because it needs to be said. I want to say it. I can say it. But okay, so here we have this Michael Shermer who's talking about the Scientific American, which is a magazine which has become totally woke. And of course, there is that. Yeah, the whole world has gone woke. Everybody's gone crazy with social mania. That a man can pretend to be a woman and all that nonsense. Yeah. So yeah, Michael Shermer is of course correct in making a big deal about that magazine has gone woke and that it became political and that it was always left-leaning. But then again, does Michael Shermer or Steven Pinker, yeah, oh, they are such rational people, right? Have they ever talked about talking? Have they ever talked about their way of talking? Have they ever talked about that? Have they ever talked about the fact that they are not listening to themselves and that nobody is listening to themselves while they speak? No. It's me who talks about that. And they haven't talked with me. I've tried to reach these people. There was a time that I still believed that, wow, yeah, if they're so reasonable, why shouldn't they talk with me, right? I've talked with certain people, yeah. certain people I got to talk with, and they have briefly spoken with me. But then again, of course, they left it again because I am too much. Yeah? Just imagine that people are going to be themselves. Ho, 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 ho. No, there's too much shame there. Yeah? So, to get rid of your shame, you gotta admit that you are feeling ashamed to listen to yourself. You are ashamed to listen to yourself. You are ashamed to talk with yourself. That's why you keep being feeling ashamed. I don't feel ashamed. I do what I say I do. So when someone like Michael Shermer, who is supposedly a hotshot academic, when a person like that says, "Oh, science is dead," or something like that, I don't know if he said that, but it doesn't matter. Other people say that, or he says that we're no longer really scientific because we've become woke or something like that. It doesn't matter. That's what they say. That's kind of the stretch of what they're saying. Oh, we need to be more scientific. Oh yeah? Well, it is not science that is dead. No, it is our way of talking which is on its deathbed. Yes, our usual way of talking is on its deathbed. The disembodied language that I'm talking about is no longer working. It has worked until now. It has been going on, but everything points in the direction. Everything I've said has proven to be true. It doesn't work. Disembodied language doesn't work. And so we can pretend that we can continue with scientific papers and that it needs to be peer reviewed. But then, these scientific papers are also politically biased. And these publications, these magazines are also politically biased. So you're still dealing with a bias here. And you're not addressing the real issue. The real issue is, of course, how we talk with each other. So scientific language is not a matter of publications which are peer-reviewed. No, scientific language is a matter of a speaker who listens to him or herself. That is what is at the crux of scientific language. Nobody has said that. I do. So I am advocating for scientific spoken language, not printed language. Not language that is peer approved. I don't give a fuck for peer approvement. Yeah? I care about whether you approve of yourself. That is what matters. And so, are you going to listen to yourself? Are you going to speak with yourself? Are you going to agree with yourself? Are you going to approve of yourself? Are you going to be without shame? That is scientific. Yeah? Then you become objective. But you cannot be objective as long as you have to be something which you obviously are not. Because you always only want to be something which you're not. I don't want to be anything. Why would I want to be anything? This whole idea of trying to be something, I've tried to be all kinds of things. I acknowledge that. But I don't want to be anything anymore. Because I am who I am. And I'm shameless. So that's why I say all this. Yeah? A tree is the tree. It's not, a dog is not trying to be a cat, okay? So, it's just so stupid, this whole transgender bullshit, that we have to be respectful of that. That's just, yeah, go to hell with your shame-inducing bullshit talk. Yeah? And this guy this morning who told me, do you have a problem with that? No. The whole world has a problem with that, dude. And you are apparently in denial of that. Still. Yeah. Even now. Yeah. Anyways, it is not science that is on its deathbed. It is our disembodied language in which we do not listen to ourselves, which is on its deathbed. And yeah, we are not going to become more scientific with peer-reviewed journal. No. We are going to become really scientific if we are going to have embodied language with each other. That should have already been the case. I should have gotten a PhD for my discovery of embodied language and for my distinction between disembodied language and embodied language, which simply put is the difference between when a speaker listens to him or herself while he or she speaks, which is embodied language, and when a speaker finds listening to others and talking with others more important, or making other people listen to them, talking at others, not talking with others, no, talking at others so that they listen to you, talking in such a way that they start to listen, make it interesting, manipulate them into listening to you. So listening means listening to others, not listening to yourself. Talking means talking with others, not talking with yourself. That's disembodied language. So there's a difference between these two different ways in which people deal with language. And I should have been recognized. Hi, ma'am. I should have been recognized, and you can still do it. If you have any integrity, if you have any intelligence, you can still recognize me. But I don't give a shit for your recognition. You can go to hell with your PhD. You can go to hell with your internship. You can go to hell with your, what is it called? You are a tenured professor. I was all having these dreams about, being recognized, of course, why shouldn't I? But you can all go to hell with your social recognition. I don't need your social recognition. I stand on my own. I'm a free individual. I have embodied language. And shameless language is a scientific language, Scientific language is shameless because it doesn't give a fuck about your beliefs. Get that through to you. And I watched some news this morning. It was Fox News. And I watched some Fox News, and they had this creep, this total creep on Fox News. That's supposedly Republican, right? Or supposedly conservative. This total fucking creep on Fox News who is praying with people. Praying? Yeah, praying. Christian crap. All these people, they wear a cross around their neck to virtue signal to others. Oh, we're so good people. We are such Christians. No, you're full of shit and you're full of shame. That's what you are. And you induce shame into other people. And I find it really horrible that Republicans and conservatives continue to pander to the Christian crowd and not have a real scientific perspective on things. Which has nothing to do with religion. That's what we need. That's what embodied language is. I don't care about your Christianity. I don't care about your God and your belief. And also, of course, other beliefs. I don't care about any belief. Science is against every belief. Science is not a belief. If it is science, it is verifiable. It is objective. It is real. There is such a thing as reality. But are we going to have the language that fits with reality or not? Are we going to be shamelessly realistic? Because that is what it is. I am shamelessly realistic. Unless we become shamelessly realistic, we are just lost in the dark ages of superstition. Goes on to this very day. Nope. With your own ability to talk with yourself and listen to yourself, you will come out of your unconscious behavior. You will come out of your unconscious beliefs. You will let yourself know that it is not true, that you were just believing it. You were just saying it to yourself. Or other people were saying it to you, and because other people said it to you, you are now saying it to yourself. Or you don't even need to say it to yourself. You just mechanically repeat that belief, that fantasy, Yeah, in mental health they had this folie à deux, yeah, which is a reference to schizophrenia. If you've ever been around a schizophrenic person, that person can act so weird and so strange and bizarre that you start to feel as if the whole world is starting to turn upside down and you are not schizophrenic. Well, that happens because a schizophrenic person has a weird energy, yeah. But you know, I tell you something about schizophrenics. I've been with schizophrenics. I've been with schizophrenics in treatment, where they are in my room, where I am just alone with them. I've been with schizophrenics when I had to hospitalize them and transport them to a hospital because there were no beds available here in Chico. I was the transport guy, and sometimes I had to go as far as all the way to Sacramento or to I don't know, you know, all the way to Sacramento. Where did I go? Yeah, that was the farthest I believe I went. Anyway, or I had to pick up somebody in Orland or in Willows, bring them all the way to Chico. Anyways, I had to do the medical check in the hospital and sit with them while these people were, yeah, they were psychotic. And so I've been with these schizophrenics. I've had schizophrenics in my class. I have had schizophrenics. I was working in hospitals, in psychiatric hospitals, where I worked with schizophrenics, and they were just all hospitalized there because they had a psychotic episode and so forth. I've been with schizophrenics a lot. Actually, I quite like schizophrenics. And schizophrenics like me. It goes both ways. It is weird. Well, guess what? Schizophrenics, they always feel totally comfortable with me. How is that possible? One time I had a schizophrenic lady who came into my room. No, wait. I was accruing my clinical hours. I was working towards my PhD, and I was accruing my clinical hours, supervised hours as a therapist, and I'd already accrued something like 1,200 something hours. And so, but I was working for this mental health organization in San Mateo, and I was told, oh no, this lady, you cannot, everybody has tried to work with her, she's really difficult, and yeah, we don't expect anything, but you can give it a try, see if how she responds, and see if you can do something with her. And the lady came into the room, and I was told that, well, you know, it's probably not going to work very well, or, you know, the expectations were really low because she seemed to be very treatment resistant, and also she did not stay on her medications and so forth. Anyway, I was with this lady. Lady came into the room, and I told her, I said, well, I hope that you are willing to, I tried to introduce myself and said to her, I said, I hope you are willing to listen to me a little bit before we get started, so that I can explain a little bit to you what I want to do. She said, oh, what do you want to do? I said, well, I am listening to myself while I speak with you, and I basically am trying to get you to also to listen to yourself. She said, yeah, but I'm already doing that. I said, okay, well then let's continue with that. She says, all right, well, what am I supposed to say? I said, well, you just talk about anything you like. She says, yeah, but I'm already doing that every day. I said, yeah, no, but now you're talking with me, and you are not talking with yourself, you're talking with me. And I am here to talk with you about listening to yourself. She said, yeah, I get it. That's wonderful. I get what you're talking about. That is great. that is fantastic. And she started praising me and laughing and being in a good mood, you know, sitting relaxed in the chair. She says, I know what that is. She says, that's wonderful. I wish more people were like that. And she says, but what good is it going to do to me if you talk with me like this? And yeah, it's wonderful. It's great. But nobody else is. Isn't that intelligence? Yeah, that is intelligence speaking here. Because she is absolutely right. And I said to her, I said, well, the therapy here is to get you used to this and to make you not concerned about the fact that other people don't do this. Because you just talk with yourself about what's good for you and you just continue to live your life accordingly. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I need other people to talk with me. I said, well, that's why you're here with me. That's why I am trying to give you enough feedback so that you become more certain. And she was like, you could say, shameless in the sense that she fully acknowledged what this is, that I have embodied language. It seems like in one instance, she already knew what that is. And it was just so beautiful and so powerful, and at the same time also so sad that she declined the offer because she had already experienced that nobody wanted to talk like this. And yeah, who knows how many people are out there. Once you talk with them, they connect. They realize that this really is something. And yet there's nobody to have this with. And therefore, they keep feeling, ridiculed, ashamed, stigmatized, whatever you want to call it. Because their way of talking is not like the usual way of talking. And yes, they have never, of course, put together the reality. Yeah, they've never put together the reality that embodied language is about listening to yourself while you speak. Morning. Yeah? You can listen to yourself while you speak. That is embodied language. Another fucking leaf blower there. I hate these machines. Okay. Well, you got it, hopefully, with this last story. And now you see also who I am. Disembodied language is on its deathbed. It just doesn't work. We can no longer go on with it. We need to have a different way of talking, a way of talking in which we listen to ourselves while we speak. Only then we can begin to deal with these so-called mental health problems, which have nothing to do with mental health, but which have to do with the way in which we talk. Yeah. Now the noise has stopped.